Good morning, students. Welcome to today's biology class. Today we are going to discuss a new topic. Let me give an introduction regarding this particular topic. So we all are these days we all are in house arrest. Everything was all the activities almost they are not in an active mode. The functions was arrested. For example, if you come to the goods, there is a necessary for the goods should be supplied from one place to other place. If the goods are not supplied, what will happen to these the goods? The goods will become the waste. Why the goods are not taken from one place to another place? Because there is an the transport system was totally the banned these the days because of the COVID-19 problem. Okay, so the transport system helps the goods to be carried by one place to other place, either maybe the seaways or airways or maybe the roadways or whatever it will be. Okay, yes, then the transport system is necessary for supply of the goods. In the same way, just imagine that all the scavengers, the municipality scavengers are under the strike. And how the roads it will be? Yes, obviously, the roads, all the roads are accumulated with the garbage. The garbage has to be collected and this has to be transported from our place to the faraway places. So, for the movement of this garbage from one place to other place, there is a need for the transport system. Like that, we keep on we discuss many examples regarding this the transportation. The same transportation is also necessary in our body. From the past few days, we are discussing about the important life processes. We done with the digestion process in human beings, and we also completed the respiration process in human beings. And the today class we'll discuss how the transportation occurs in the human beings. The same, what are the examples I said now? That these examples it will be work out in our body also. For example, the digestion is completed and respiration is done. The food is mixes with oxygen during the time of the respiration process, and the food is energy content. It will be ready in the blood. So from the blood, it has to be supplied from toe to the top of the head. How it is possible? I already used one term in the last class. Our body is made up of billions of countless cells. It is not an easy task for each cell get the energy. That is the reason there is a necessity for the transport system to supply the oxygen, food, absorbed food, and it has to be take out the carbon dioxide. For all these things, there is a need for the transport system. Okay, yes, let me discuss about this the transport system, how the transportation occurred in human beings. Okay, the today third topic, this is third lesson in life process, transportation in human beings. Actually, why this transportation is required? Let me explain first. Okay, yes, the transportation in human beings, what it has to be transport. The first we can say that what we should transport. Okay, again the carbon dioxide has to be sent out. That is also there is a need for transportation. And we also studied in the previous class, blood is a fluid connective tissue. It is made up of the liquid content called as a plasma. Plasma is bind with the many cells. Okay, the respiratory pigment which is present in the blood is called as an hemoglobin, and hemoglobin binds the carbon dioxide and it will be sent out during the time of the respiration. But the separation, there is a necessity for this transport system. Okay, yes, so oxygen has to be sent inside and carbon dioxide has to be sent out. And next one, and we can say that absorbed food also has to be distributed from the each cell. For all these things, there is a necessary for transportation process in a human beings. How the transportation occur in the human beings? Which system play a role for this transportation? There is another name for this transportation, and we can also call it as a circulatory system. Circulatory system. Okay, in the circulatory system, and we are going to study about the three main parts. The one is we have to learn about the heart, okay, and the second one we have to discuss about the blood, and the third point we have to discuss about the blood vessels. Okay, these three areas we have to cover in this particular topic. Okay, yes, first let me explain about external structure of heart. External structure of heart, where the heart is situated. Okay, yes, where the heart is situated means heart is situated in the chest cavity. It is present in the chest cavity. Okay, yes, it is present in the chest cavity. Okay, how the heart is getting protection, how it gets protected. Okay, heart is get protected all the sides. 4 areas it will be get protection. First one is all the sides. All the sides it gets protected by the rib cage. All the sides heart protected by the rib cage. Okay, yes. Back side heart gets protected by vertebral column. Vertebral column. Okay, yes. The next one, front side. In the front part or the front side, we can say that there is a special part that is called as a sternum. Okay, yes. So all the sides heart is protected by these 3 ways. Okay, all the sides by the rib cage, back side by the vertebral column, but in front it is by the sternum. Okay, yes. Next, heart is made up of with cardiac muscles. Okay, yes, you know that whenever the people get in heart problems, whom they'll consult? Yes, the cardiologist. Okay, yes, heart is made up of them cardiac muscles, and these cardiac muscles, they show rhythmatic contractions and the relaxations. In simple language, we will call it as systolic and the diastolic pressures, and simple way contraction and relaxation, lub dub, we can say that. How many times these contractions and the relaxations are one systole and one diastole, will name together as a heartbeat. Okay, yes. So what is called as a heartbeat means we can say that one contraction by one relaxation. Okay, yes. One contraction we'll call it as diastole, and one relaxation will also say that systolic pressure. Okay, lub dub, it's a simple language. Okay, that will term it as a heartbeat. Okay, yes. Next one, how then internally heart is protected. Internally heart is protected by the layer, that layer we'll call it as pericardium. Internally heart is protected by the layer named as pericardium. Okay, yes. So what is the main function of the heart? Means just now I said that it is helpful for pumping of the blood. So we can say that this is a pumping device. Heart is a pumping device. What is the size of the heart? What is the size of the heart? Means it is a one's fist. The size of the heart is one's fist. Where it is located? In a respiratory system, we discussed that where the heart is located. Heart is located slightly left side in the chest cavity. That is the reason the left lung has only 2 lobes, you rightly said. Okay, the right lung has 3 lobes, as it has to give the space for the heart. The left lung has it has only the 2 lobes, and then we can say the location of the heart is slightly. It is a slightly left side in the chest cavity. Okay, these are all the general descriptive the points of the heart. We can go for the continuation for this, and we can also say that heart has the upper region is a broad and the lower region is an apex. Apex is a pointed. Okay, the upper has broad. There is an application question here. Why the upper region of the heart has a broad? Because all the blood vessels, the different blood vessels we are going to study now, all the blood vessels are there open in the upper region only. That is the reason the upper region is like this. So the upper region is a broader. So how the narrow region? This is called as an apex region. The lower region is a narrow in nature. Okay, the upper is the broader, and the lower region is narrow region. Narrow. Okay. Yes. Next, in externally we how you can say that internally heart has divided with the 4 chambers. Maybe in your previous classes you studied heart is an hollow organ. That's an empty space, empty cavities are present. What is the reason why it has to be present in such a ways? Let me say. Okay. Yes. So how you can say internally heart has the 4 grooves, 4 chambers. Internally heart is divided into 4 chambers. There is one more question here. How you can say that internally heart is divided into 4 channels? How you can say that means by observing grooves. By observing grooves. Okay? Yes. What are these grooves called? What are these grooves called? Mean these grooves are nothing but we can also say that's lines. Okay? There will be the vertical line like this, and there will be the horizontal line. See? Vertical groove and an horizontal groove. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We can say this 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be the 4 chambers inside the heart. Okay, when I am explaining about an internal structure of the heart, and we can see the clear diagram, and then I'll explain all the parts. These are all the external features. These are all the external features of the heart. So internally heart is divided into the 4 chambers, and this with the help of the grooves, and these grooves are nothing but we'll call it as lines. There is one vertical groove and there is a horizontal groove, and these 2 grooves makes that there are 4 different rooms, or there are 4 different chambers inside the heart. Now the question is that why the heart needs the 4 different chambers? Okay, yes. The first point itself I said that heart is sending oxygen inside. So that's why we can say that this is an impure. This is an pure. This is the pure blood, or we can also say that this is an oxygenated blood. Pure or an oxygenated blood, where it has to be sent out, and we carbon dioxide, and we can say that this is an impure, or we can also call it as deoxygenated blood. Am I clear to you, children? Here heart is supplying or circulating the 2 different types of the blood. One is oxygenated content blood, so that blood we'll call it as an pure or oxygenated blood. Okay, one is an the carbon dioxide content blood, so that is also called as impure or deoxygenated blood. Okay, yes. To avoid the mixing of these 2 different types of the blood, and heart is internally is made up of 4 the chambers, and it is separated by the tough or the hard walls. What are that? Let me say now. Okay, yes. So we can say that this is our upper chambers. Let me say these points. Upper chambers are called as auricles, and the lower chambers will call it as ventricles. Okay, yes. So another point we can say, all the time right part is a place for oxygenated blood, OB we can say in short, and left chambers are for, we can say, deoxygenated, sorry, yes, this is the right is the place for deoxygenated blood, this is the right, and this is the left side, and it will be oxygenated blood. Okay, yes, don't be confused. Let me say this is the right side. As I am writing like this, you may just you feel like that this is the right and this is the left. The right is the place where we can see the deoxygenated blood, and left is the place where we can see oxygenated blood. Okay, yes. How these are avoiding the mixing? How they are avoiding the mixing means there are walls here. These walls we'll call it as septum, but they are called septum. Okay, let me rub these points, then I will say. Yes, how this upper chambers are yes, upper chambers and the lower chambers are separated by walls. Upper and the lower chambers are separated by walls. WALLS. So upper chambers, the upper chamber is called auricle. Auricles. Auricles are once again, they divide into right auricle and left auricle. Okay. See, these upper chambers we are called auricle. This is the right auricle and this is the left auricle. So the next one is the lower chambers. The lower chambers are called as ventricles. Ventricles, once again, they divided into right ventricle and then left ventricle. Is it clear, children? Upper is right auricle, left auricle, and ventricles are right ventricle and then left ventricle. Okay, so right side is the place, right is the place all the time we can see oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Just in short, just you keep in your mind OB, we can say. Okay, the left side is all the time it has deoxygenated blood. Okay, yes. So this is called as an DB. How this mixing it will be stopped means this, by the help of walls. WALLS. There is another we are going to study, that is a valve. VALVES. Okay, yes. What is the name is given for this the valves? Okay, 6 different the names we have to learn now. Okay, upper I said the right auricle and left auricle, I said no. So we can give the name for this valve right and left. Right and left. Auricular septum. Okay, right and left auricular septum. This is, so the vertical groove divides the upper is into right and then left, and this particular valve is called as what? Valve is called as right and left auricular septum. Okay, yes. Next one. The second one is lower regions are called as what? The ventricles. And ventricles also divided into right ventricle and left ventricle. So easily you can name that right and left. Right and left ventricular septum. Okay, is it clear, children? Yes. So the right vertical groove function is over. Now we'll study about horizontal groove. Is coming to this horizontal groove. Horizontal groove also divided auricles and then ventricles. Okay, yes. How you can give the name here means right auriculoventricular septum. Am I clear to you? These lines we'll call it as walls, WALS. The scientific name for the wall is septum. So then we'll call it as right auriculoventricular septum. Okay, these are called as auricles, no? So this is upper chambers auricles. Don't forget, and these are the ventricles. Of course, maybe you know that, and these names are new for you, I think so. Okay, yes. And the third one is, we can say that right and right auriculo ventricular septum. Okay, right auriculoventricular septum. So then fourth one is left auriculoventricular septum. Okay, yes. So then these the strong walls separated the four chambers into without mixing of this oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, and these walls are helping. Now the question is that when the walls are the blocked this blood flow, how the blood flow it will be occur? There is a blood flow also. There is a need for blood flow. Otherwise there is no pumping process. So how the blood it will be flow here means, and we can see here in between the right auricle and the left auricle, and we can see there will be the small apertures. Small aperture. What is this called? Aperture. Or we can also say that is an opening. A small opening is present in between. This is right auricle and an right ventricular. So what is this name of this aperture means? Right auriculoventricular aperture. Am I clear to you, children? And the fifth one is right auriculoventricular aperture. What is the meaning of aperture? Aperture is nothing but a small hole, we can say. Okay, then if you go for the left side, left auriculoventricular apertures. Okay, 6 names I gave. Okay, first one is right and left auricular septum, and the second one is right and left ventricular septum, and the third one is right auriculoventricular septum, and fourth one is left auriculoventricular septum, and the fifth is right auriculoventricular aperture, and sixth is left auriculoventricular aperture. Okay, yes. So is an apertures are all the time it will be open like that? No, they are not open like that all the time. They are provided with, I said another word, no? They are provided with the separate structures, and these are called as a valves. V-A-L-V-E-S. Okay, that's all, children. This is full information regarding external structure of the heart. For the next class, we are going to study about the internal structure of the heart. Make a note about the points, watch the video, and this time I am sending the online test on the live process. Please check your answer, choose the correct answers. That is 10 answers I am sending. Please answer the questions, and you can evaluate your own answer script, and you can get the marks. All the best. Do well. Thank you.